Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh, yeah.
And we're live, guys. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Melanie Nix from the Nix's podcast.
I'm Molly Rex. I'm Living Dead Girl.
I'm going to start you off with a hard question here that you probably never thought of.
All right.
Not musically, personally. What do you want to leave as your legacy as a person?
What? Sorry? It just lagged for a second. I'm sorry.
What would you like to leave as your legacy as a person?
Oh, as a person, not musically. My biggest life goal that's not music oriented is I want to rescue as many animals as I can in my lifetime. I've already had 6 rescue cats, a rescue dog, and one day if I'm ever at a point where I'm very financially stable, that's the first thing I would do is adopt as many animals as I can. And I also do fundraisers every year where I always donate to my local animal shelter on my birthday. So I would love to just keep advocating for stray cats and stray dogs and just rescue as many as I can myself.
It's pretty awesome. And here's a fun one. If you could pick one song, not your own, to describe you as a person, what song would that be?
Ooh, to describe me, I'm going to say Dead as Fuck by Motionless in White.
Okay.
It's just such a goth girl anthem.
Would you like to go?
Sure. How do you define success as an artist?
The most straightforward answer I think would be once you're at the point where you are doing it as your career, I would say you've made it. The goal is for it to be the job is music. But also at the same time, it's not really about that, especially in this day and age and with this economy and everything. It's that's a bit less achievable. I think at this point, a more modern answer would be once you can say you've crossed everything off your bucket list. My personal bucket list is who I want to open for and what countries I want to play in. And once I've been able to play overseas and open for my favorite bands, I'll consider myself successful.
Who are some of your favorite bands?
I love Hailstorm in this moment, Motionless in White, The Pretty Reckless. Avril Lavigne, but I'm never going to open for her because we're not the same genre. Falling Apart, Star Set.
Never say never.
Never say never. There could be, how Warped Tour was very pop punk and metal, hybrid together. They do go hand in hand.
What's up, guys? So other than music, do you have any hobbies, any passions, anything that you like to do?
The only thing I do that's not music related in my life, and this sounds so dorky, is go to Disney World. That's one of the biggest reasons I moved to Florida was, I've already been here so many times before I even moved here that I was already kind of familiar and knew my way around a bit. But also I go to Disney World sometimes 4 times in a week. I live 20 minutes away from the park. I'm just obsessed with it. I love, even if I just go there just to go for a walk. I like the atmosphere. I find it as chaotic and crowded and full of screaming children as it is, I still find it relaxing somehow. I just find that when I'm there is the only time I'm able to shut my brain off because I'm such a workaholic. I always stress myself out and work myself up. I will not go to bed until my to-do list is done. Even if I'm sick, I won't take a day off. I'm very much go, go, go all the time. The only time I allow myself to do something that's entirely leisure and not business is I'm okay, I'm going to go to Disney and take a day off. But even when I'm in Disney, I'll be standing in line for a roller coaster, on the phone with Jeremy, our manager, and he's a huge Disney fan too. The one time on the phone with me, he was like, "Are you on Big Thunder Mountain right now?" And I was like, yes, I am.
I've honestly never been yet.
No, you have to. It's amazing.
I just want a picture with Eeyore and I'll be good. I'll go on my merry way.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, what is your favorite Disney movie?
Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Hands down. I have a tattoo of Ariel on my arm. That's how obsessed with her I am.
How do you feel about the live action one that they're making, or it's out already, I guess?
I don't like any of the Disney live action remakes. I think they're all garbage. They're good enough to like sit and watch once, but I feel like fairy tales are meant to be cartoon and they just can't be topped. So I feel like if you can't make it better, then you should just leave it alone. Like that Aladdin one, the whole "You've Got a Friend in Me" genie scene, it was just like it didn't translate to live action. I just feel like if it's going to be all CGI anyways, why bother making it? But I will still watch Little Mermaid. I'm curious. Halle Bailey's an incredible singer. I loved hearing her version of Part of Your World. So I'll definitely watch it. Will I spend money to go to the theaters and watch it? Probably not.
No.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Disney's live action. I like the cartoons from the 40s.
It's the good old classic cartoons.
Yeah, I just feel like they're also much shorter movies. The new Disney movies coming out are over 2 hours long. I have ADHD and I can't pay attention that long. The old Disney movies, like Cinderella, I think is an hour and 10 minutes. Like get to the good stuff and then finish it because I can't pay attention longer than that.
I agree.
If you can have your own 2-day festival, first day is female fronted, second day is dead or alive. Who are your top 5 on each?
Top 5 for female fronted. I'm gonna say Hailstorm, Avril Lavigne, Lilith Czar, Butcher Babies, and In This Moment. That was tough to narrow down. I have so many that I love, but those would be the top 5. And then 5 of Dead or Alive. I would like to see Nirvana. That would have been really cool. I loved them a lot when I was a teenager, so I'll say Nirvana. And then of all Alive bands, I guess I'd say like Motionless in White, Starset, Falling in Reverse. I'm trying to think of who I've been listening to a lot lately. Fifth one. Who else have I been digging? I've been digging Demi Lovato a lot lately. I mean, she'd be female for it, but I'd put her on there too.
Yeah. Speaking of that, she's actually coming my way soon.
Oh, cool. Are you getting to see her?
No, I think I'm covering something else that night.
Okay. I was never a fan of her until her latest rock album. Anthony, our secondary guitarist, had said to me, "Oh, I loved Demi Lovato's new album." And I kind of looked at him because when I thought of Demi Lovato, I was thinking like Disney, like camp rock stuff. So I was like, "Do you like Demi Lovato?" And he was like, "Dude, just listen to her new album." And so I was like, "Okay." I'm like, if you like it and you're a metalhead, it must be good. And then I listened to it and I was like, this is a 10 out of 10. I love it.
It's different. Definitely different.
The vocals are, just so undeniably good.
Oh, yeah. So where do you find inspiration for your music, for your look, for your, like, what makes you you?
A lot of my inspiration goes back to what I looked up to as a child. Like, as much as I keep thinking I've grown and changed and developed as a person, I always go back to the things I liked when I was little. Like, I never grew out of anything, really. The type of makeup that I liked doing when I was like 10 years old, I used to start playing with makeup, is like the same kind of makeup look I do now. Like, I always go back to it. The way I liked dressing and wanted to dress when I was like 13 is how I still dress now. Like, I really go back to like nostalgia. I like the whole late 90s, early 2000s, like aesthetic with fashion. And for influence with music, it just comes from everyday life. Like if someone even just slightly inconveniences me, I might go write a song about it. Every single topic I choose is something that either happened to me or like happened to someone I know. The only song I've like written that wasn't about anything in particular was Poltergeist. That was the only song where I was like, let's just write like an abstract, just not about anything song. But everything else was like a specific time in my life. A lot of the songs on Exorcism I wrote in high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were some cool songs.
That's pretty cool that you've written that like in high school and you're singing it now, like.
Yeah. I was digging up old lyrics when I was going into the studio to make Exorcism, and I was like, because like Poltergeist I wrote when I was like 17. Exorcism, I have a rough demo that I might post on the internet one day. It was originally like a death metal song. I wrote it when I was 18 years old, recorded the demo for it. Worship Me, I recorded when I was 18, and then we just like went and reworked them.
Did you ever have vocal coaching at all?
Yes. So I am currently working with Jamie Vendera. He honestly changed my life. I can't give this man enough praise. If you've ever seen that guy that goes on Mythbusters and the Today Show and all of these TV
Yeah.
shows that shatters the glass with his voice, that's my
Yeah.
vocal coach. He also invented this product called the Doctor Box. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like a funny water bottle. It kind of looks like a bong, and it has like a straw sticking out of it. So I also bought the product that he created, and just all of his advice and coaching. And every time I go on stage, I'll send him a video after the show and be like, please criticize me, don't hold back. And in this past year, everyone who's seen me more than once, everyone who knows me personally, my own mom, my fiance, everyone's like, it doesn't even sound like the same person. Like your vocals have just like transformed. So he deserves like all the praise because that would not have happened without him. Oh, Cutthroat Susie is here. What's up, guys? We just played a show with them last week. They are super awesome band.
They're pretty awesome.
You guys have any artistic collaborations coming up?
Ooh, we don't have anything like set in stone, although it has been discussed. We've made like a list of people that we would like to work with on the next album, like different producers, different singers. So I actually have like a huge list. I was going over with my manager recently. So there are people that we want to work with, and we're going to approach and ask and see if they're interested. But nothing's like set in stone at the moment.
I like seeing, bands when they come together.
Yeah.
Singers cross over to another band. I mean, it's usually blending the musics together.
Yeah, I love that so much as well. It's really cool when you can hear both of their styles like formed into one song.
You come from a musical family?
Sort of. None of them are like performers or anything of that sort. My dad does play guitar and like collects them, and he actually builds guitars. So I grew up in a house that had instruments in it, but like they're not like my parents aren't like in bands or anything. So they were always like more hobbyists, whereas I was the one that was like, I'm gonna try to make this my career, and they're like, all right, good luck with that.
So, do you have any advice for anybody that is coming up in the industry?
My advice, and I wish I had started sooner, is you need to like make it your life. If you want to do it, you can't prioritize anything else. You have to make sacrifices. The day that I started coming up with a daily vocal routine, and this was because of Jamie's advice as well. He was like, you need to sing your entire set every single day, even when you're not on tour. You need to do these exercises every single day. You need to do these warm-ups every single day. Like he's like, just 1 hour a day to spend working on your voice. Like even if you have to get up an hour earlier to do it in the morning before you go to work or at night before bed, you have to do it every single day. And that's what really changed the game for myself as a performer. Is I started taking it a lot more seriously. I became a lot more disciplined. I'm like so strict now. I don't even drink cold water anymore. I live in Florida where it's a billion degrees out, and I'm sitting here just drinking boiled water and sweating, even when I'm not on tour, just to keep my voice sounding good. So like once you really make it your life, you will see the dramatic difference. Like I always cared and was always passionate, but once I became extremely disciplined is when I started seeing the progress myself.
That's definitely being it. I mean, the voice is an instrument, right? 1,000 hours for a guitar player to actually like start seeing progress. I mean, singers, it's the same thing.
Exactly. Like I would practice singing at home, of course, but not nearly as frequently as I should have, quite honestly. Like I would sing in the shower, I'd sing in the car. But once I said, okay, I'm buying a piano and I'm sitting at it playing and singing scales every single day for an hour, is when all of a sudden I was like, whoa, I didn't even know I could sing that high. I didn't know I could hold a note that long. Look at all these things I can do that I couldn't do 2 weeks ago.
It's fun when you always see a progress, when you always see something, you're working hard on something and there's something coming out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you start getting addicted. Once you start seeing results, it's like when you go to the gym. The first time I could see like one square in my abs, I was like, nah, I got to keep going. And your throat is the exact same. It's like now that I can feel myself singing with more ease and it's getting easier and I'm not pushing as hard and it sounds really good. It's like, I have to keep going now because I'm like, if I'm this good now, how good will I be in 5 years? So you just get like addicted. You're like, I want to be as good as I can be.
Absolutely.
If you had to write a letter to yourself at I'm going to say 8 years old, would your 8-year-old You as 8-year-old, would they be proud of you now?
Absolutely. And that's one of those sappy, nostalgic little thoughts that I have a lot is I think of what I idolized and what I wanted to be and what I looked up to when I was a child, when I was a teenager even, and then what I am now. And I'm like, I would be pretty excited if I knew all this was going to happen. Like all I wanted to do, even when I was a very small child, is just perform, play shows, be in front of people. I was just always a natural born performer. Like I used to do like a lot of acting. I just was the kind of kid that always wanted to be the center of attention. So if you told me, okay, at age 24, you're going to be like living in Florida, like touring frequently, I would have been pretty excited by that.
That's amazing. I mean, anybody that's a musician in these comments sure can relate to that. Like, for sure. You regret any sacrifices you had to make?
I do sometimes feel a little bit badly that I moved to the States from Canada to further my career. It's a lot easier to tour in the US than it is in Canada because the cities and states are much closer together. Canada, you're going to drive for 3 days before you hit the next city, whereas the States, you can hit a city in like every 3 hours. So I did move to the States to advance my career. And sometimes I do feel a little guilty, like when my family's having Christmas dinner and I'm not there, or like someone's sick or someone's not doing well and I'm like, I can't come visit you unless I get on a $500 plane right now. So every now and then I do feel like a little bit guilty because I was very selfish and I was like, I need to do this. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to move. And then there are times where I'm like, I don't get to see my friends that often and I feel like I'm really missing out on some things of people's lives. And every now and then I do feel a little bit guilty about it, but I don't think I'll regret it long term. Like if this is what it takes to make things work, I can always FaceTime people. I can call them, and I do frequently. I still go back up to Canada and visit frequently. Like I'm going again in 2 weeks. It's just like, you know, when someone's sick or it's someone's birthday and I don't get to see them, I just feel a little crappy about it.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm in North Carolina now, but like I was telling you, I'm from Montreal, so Mother's Day and everything was like, let me call my mom, you know. I won't be able to see her, but you know, at least FaceTime.
You feel a little guilty. It's like, I'm sorry I abandoned you.
Exactly.
I did see a comment. I just learned how to use the comments on here. Someone said, Living Dead Girls touring with Raven Black, and they are not coming to Houston. I just want to shout out, we are playing in Houston on August 3rd. It's not with Raven Black. It's just Living Dead Girl, but it's one of our routing dates to the tour. So if you're in Houston and want to see us, we are playing there August 3rd.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but yeah.
I know Cindy had a question also in the comments. She said, what song inspired you the most to write?
If I could only pick one song, I'm going to say Horror by In This Moment, because that song itself is what made me learn how to scream. I was trying to sing along to it at age 16 in my parents' basement, trying all these weird different things in my throat. Some hurt, some sounded like crap, some were making me cough up phlegm. One time I tasted blood and I was like, okay, I better stop. And then finally I just found the gear you shift in your throat muscles that makes a scream. And that's when it clicked and I was like, okay, I just learned how to scream, was by singing along to In This Moment song Horror on a loop for hours. So that song really is what made me go, oh my God, I should be a metal singer.
Did you ever get a chance to see them in concert?
I have. They are incredible. They put on such a good performance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I actually got to see them with Hailstorm a couple years back.
Oh, that's such a good lineup. Hailstorm's like one of the best bands on the planet. Like Lizzie is not even human. I don't know how she sings, plays guitar, and wears 9-inch heels at the same time. Like the heels alone are a talent. And then you add a guitar and incredible voice.
And her brother on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't leave him out.
Where'd you guys come up with Living Dead Girl?
Sorry, what was that?
Where'd you guys come up with Living Dead Girl for the band name?
My mom told me this morbid story about how when I was born, the doctor thought I was a stillborn because for the first like 5 minutes of being alive, I guess I wasn't crying or screaming and my skin was completely gray or bluish or whatever. And I just was still and silent. So the doctor was panicking and like slapping me in the face and like telling me to wake up. And my mom's sitting there like panicking, like, oh my God, I just went through like 3 days labor. Are you kidding me? And she told me this story when I was like 10 years old. And I was like, whoa, cool. I was born dead. Because by age 10, I was already obsessed with like Halloween and wearing black lipstick. I discovered Marilyn Manson accidentally on YouTube. Like I was already starting to get into like the kind of goth subculture. So by age 10, my mom telling me this was just like the best news. I was like, are you kidding me? I can tell people I was born dead. So then I started calling myself Living Dead Girl. I formed the band when I was like 15 years old, and I was like, we're calling it Living Dead Girl. I also just loved how, one, it's easy to spell, two, it's easy to pronounce, three, it's easy to remember. And I like that you know it's a female front of metal band before you even know what it is. Like you can just tell what it is right off the bat. Like people don't even have to ask what genre it is. They don't even have to ask if the singer's a girl. You already know.
Do you have any of the dolls by chance?
Any of the dolls? Like which ones? The
Living Dead dolls.
Living Dead dolls? I don't. What are those?
I'll have to.
Guy-looking ones?
They're dolls about maybe this big, and they're all creepy and disheveled. And I'll have to send you pictures later.
Send me a link if I need that. I do have a doll right beside me. A fan actually made this for me and gave it to me at one of our shows. That's the closest I've had to that doll.
No, some of these are really expensive, but yeah, they came out. I'm gonna say, quote me if I'm wrong, guys, because I can't look at my computer right now because I'm on it. I'm gonna say early '90s.
Okay.
And they were at every Hot Topic. They're everywhere. They come in a coffin. They're Living Dead dolls.
I think I'm gonna have to Google these. I might know exactly which ones you mean. It's just when you first said dolls, I was thinking like Barbie dolls. I thought you meant like Monster High or something.
No, better than Monster High dolls. Like they were really creepy, and like some you can get for like $150. That's how expensive these are. Yeah, it was. You saw them at Hot Topic all the time.
I love Hot Topic still.
Does anybody ever think that you guys are like a cover band of Rob Zombie?
All the time. We had several people on our last tour that we just got home from saying to us, I came here thinking it was a Rob Zombie cover band. He's like, but I was pleasantly surprised.
I was actually at a Rob Zombie concert and I saw your shirt. Somebody was wearing your shirt at a Rob Zombie concert.
That's awesome.
I did a double take to make sure it wasn't, just for the song, but you were on there. I was like, this is pretty awesome.
If my face is on it, that's what gives it away that it's not a Rob Zombie shirt.
No, your face was on it. I was like, that's pretty badass. Okay.
Very fitting place to wear that.
Yeah, it was.
So you fall into your own Disney movie. All of a sudden, the witch puts a spell on you, and you can only listen to the same 30-second song for the rest of your life. What are you listening to?
Oh, man. Well, that would drive me insane, for starters.
That's the plan. The witch is a bitch. Come on, like.
I would say "I'm With You" by Avril Lavigne because I've heard that song a billion times and I'm not sick of it yet.
Good answer.
And speaking of Wicca Witch, I got my poison apple mug with me.
Nice. What song that comes on the radio or wherever you are and you need to turn it off? We don't have that one song that triggers us that have to turn it off.
I hope I don't get shade for this, but I cannot stand anything by Taylor Swift. If that song, Bad Blood or Shake It Off, or any of those come on the radio, like, I'm turning it off. I can appreciate pop music. I'm not saying she's not talented. She obviously is. But something about it just boils my blood or something that I don't like.
So we're technically near the halfway mark. I'm going to let you flip it on me. You can ask me anything.
Ask you anything. What if you had to pick one concert you've been to, which one sticks out as like the best live performance you've ever seen?
Oy. I'm going to have to say the first Family Values tour. It was Korn, Limp Bizkit, Ice Cube, Rob Stein, and Orgy. I might be missing somebody, but I believe that's the full lineup. It was the first arena show. Like, you couldn't pay me any money for those tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, your first arena concert always sticks out because, I mean, I've been to so many like small shows and stuff, but seeing something like on that large of a scale blows you away.
What was your first arena show?
Hillary Duff. When I was 8 years old. I remember it fondly, though. I was so excited. Hillary Duff was like 2 hours late, and half the people left. And then I stayed, though.
2 hours late.
Yeah.
Yeah, no explanation or anything. Didn't even say sorry. Just came out and acted like nothing happened.
Lucky for her, social media wasn't back then a big
right?
thing as it is now, because 2 hours late, she would have been chewed online.
Yeah, in 2007, she was safe then.
Yeah. Not now. You sneeze funny and you're roasted.
Exactly. Other questions. I'm not an interviewer, so I'm like, I don't know.
No, I know you're not.
Are you coming out to see any of the shows with us and Raven Black? Are we hitting you where you live?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn it.
I mean, I want to. It's just, it's not on the cards on this time. But if you're ever in New Jersey, I will be there.
Oh, New Jersey. Okay, I wasn't sure where you were based out of.
Yeah.
So many people asked us to play New Jersey. We have to do it.
I missed you guys last time you were in Charlotte.
Dang it.
You were playing, so next time you're around, I'll make sure to go.
Thank you. It was also a weekday, though. Weekdays are hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, with the kids and everything. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think my partner might be going to the Chicago one. I'm not sure yet. She's based out of Chicago.
Yeah, we've never played in Chicago before. I'm excited to go there. I know there's a lot of people there who have like asked us, like, when do you come to Chicago? When do you come to Chicago? And it just feels nice to be like, finally have a date for you.
Oh, well, another person's from Jersey as well.
New Jersey rap. Yeah, it's New Jersey. 2 more people from New Jersey. Apparently, I need to go to New Jersey.
So what was your favorite tour so far?
Favorite tour? I'm going to say my very first tour, because for that tour in particular, I rented an RV because I was really scared knowing I could not handle living in a van yet, and that would just like freak me out too much for my first tour. So we rented an RV to make it really comfortable. And then after that, I bought a van for the future tours. And now I'm like dying to buy an RV because that tour was so comfortable. Like I had like a king size bed. We had a fridge. We had air conditioning. We had all this stuff. And so like I got used to that. And now we have like a shitty van where you can't even stretch your legs out, let alone have a fridge and a bed and everything. So my first tour was definitely like the most comfortable one I've ever been on. But it just makes me like more motivated. Like, okay, we got to work hard enough that we can afford to buy an RV because we want everything tour to be like the first tour.
Also, right now, unfortunately, your van did die out on you guys.
It did crap out on us. It's so annoying. So many people were like, well, why don't you just buy a new one? Why don't you just buy a new one? And I'm like, well, what do you think I'm going to do with this one? I bought it and financed it. I haven't paid it off yet. And now I need to sell it, but I want to break even on it. The only way I can sell it for anything is if I fix the transmission. No one's going to buy it broken. No. So like some people are like, well, why don't you just buy a new one? I'm like, it's not that simple. We got to fix the broken one first. I can't just abandon it at the mechanic shop in Tennessee and keep paying the monthly payments on it. So we are putting the new $5,000 transmission in it. Then we can sell it for the same price we bought it for, hopefully. And then I'll buy a new one.
Oh yeah, it takes time. I mean, you guys are artists, musicians, like you. It's not like, okay, yeah, I'll just hold on. I'll take out my checkbook. Here you go. You know,
exactly.
The van, like, it takes time.
Yeah, I'd also just paid the deposit on my wedding like the week before that tour. So like I had like no extra money. Like every penny I had made went to that. And then the van broke and I was like, this is very bad timing.
Right?
Well, congratulations on that once again.
Thank you.
It's next year sometime, right?
Yeah, it's next April. I'm so excited to finally do something that's just for my personal life, because every big expense I've had, everything I've done, everything I've like worked really hard for has been Living Dead Girl related. So I'm finally doing something that's like just for me.
You have to take some time for you. You know, it's important.
Yes,
Thing
absolutely.
Like at one point, you know.
The wedding's gonna force me to take a minute off.
There you go. There you go. Always busy. What's your best time to create? Do you find that you're more creative towards the nighttime? Or
Yeah, definitely. All my best ideas come at like 2 a.m.
when you're trying to sleep?
Yep, that's what keeps me up. And then I have to pull out a notepad or the notes app on my phone and just like start writing lyrics down before they disappear from my brain. During the daytime, I'm like useless. I'm more creative at night.
Too many distractions during the day.
Yeah, during the day, I'm really productive, like around my house. Like I can like clean my entire house and do things. But like if it comes to band stuff, I'm more not like creative when I'm like nocturnal. Like during the day, I feel very like housewifey. I'm like, I want to cook, I want to clean, I want to do my laundry. And then at night, I become an artist. I love that comment from Danny Rose. Buy a new one. LOL, y'all want to pay for it? Exactly. So many people are commenting like, why don't you buy a new one? And I'm like, it's not that easy.
Well, they do have some awesome merch out right now, guys.
Yeah.
I shared it from my Facebook page. If you guys do have a bit of money and want to help out, you do get something pretty awesome in return. There's awesome new shirts with the new band logo, the new band picture. You can get an autographed card. I mean, go check it out.
Thank you.
Cool
it is our first time doing a shirt that has a picture of all of the band members on it, so that's exciting.
And it's like it's gonna be exclusive, right? You guys are offering that shirt for only a limited amount of time, right?
Yes, just for 1 month, and then we just wanted it to like disappear, so people have to act fast.
It's a good idea.
Thank you.
If you can change one thing in the music industry, what would that be at this moment?
I hope this doesn't count as talking politics because I don't mean it to be, but I wish women were treated a little bit more equally in music. I personally have already dealt with so much sexism as a small artist. I can't imagine how much worse it's going to be when more people know we exist. But I've personally had like even labels, management companies, radio stations. One major radio station that I personally listen to all the time emailed me and said, sorry, we don't like female fronted bands.
Ooh.
I've been told no because I'm a girl so many times that it boils my blood and makes me really angry. It doesn't make me want to stop or want to quit, though. It does the opposite. It kind of like fuels me even more. I'm like, well, I'm going to show them how good I am. I'm going to show them how talented I am. Screw them. But I kind of wish that didn't exist at all. I'm like, it's 2023. If you're not used to the fact that girls can sing metal by now, like, you're the problem, not me.
That's what I was going to say. By now, I mean, come on. Like, there's been pioneer women, like, pushing through all the way back to what Pat Benatar, Janis Joplin, like we're all the way in 2023. Like, come on, everybody knows girls can do metal too.
Exactly, yeah.
Even better than the boys. So you know,
a lot of them are better than boys. No one's a better singer than like Lizzie Hale. Like, she's a girl.
Maria Brink.
Yeah, Maria Brink has like the best screams of anyone. Sorry, she's also female. But if that's the one thing I could change, I would change it in a heartbeat because it's really annoying to deal with. Bill says there are some girls that can out scream and growl better than a guy. Exactly. Even I've had times before I've screamed and like a male vocalist has looked at me and been like, whoa, how do you do that? And it's like, gender doesn't have anything to do with talent. Like, anyone can be talented. I even did a live stream a few weeks ago and like someone had commented on like, how do you scream so good being a hot girl? And I was like, well, contrary to popular belief, hot girls aren't just hot bimbos and useless. I'm like, we can also be talented. Your appearance and your gender don't have anything to do with your talent. Like, just because you think someone's attractive doesn't mean they can't be talented.
Right.
Hacks, it is easy for women to be respected for their talent. How many women metal artists will it take for mainstream to wake the F up? Danny, you are so right. There's so many at this point. Like, even when they were asking me to narrow them down to 5, I couldn't think of just 5. There's so many at this point. So I feel like we still have a long way to go.
Yes, but like with females, like fronted female bands like you, doesn't stop with everybody telling you no, and it's just like, yo, you're going to say no. I'm just gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna.
Exactly.
The more bands we have like that, the more strong women we have. I think we're gonna do good. There's a bunch of them. So.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely more than ever. Like I'm seeing it a lot more, and I love that.
Do you think it's ever going to change? So that mentality.
I'm not sure. I feel like you can prove people wrong and you can keep carrying on and doing your thing, but people are always going to have their thoughts and their opinions, and people are allowed to feel that way. It's like if you don't want to listen to it, I'm not forcing you to listen to it. If you really truly hate my music, why would I want you to listen to it? So like people are entitled to think what they want to think. They're allowed to do that. I just don't want them to be so like hateful and so small-minded, especially when it's someone like a label person or a radio person saying, no, we don't want another girl. It's like, well, you're missing out because you could have made a lot of money off me, but you don't want to.
Exactly. Move on to the other station that is gonna play you and support you. What's the one thing you prefer, like that you like the most about being a musician on tour? And what's the one thing that you're like, you can't stand?
Favorite thing would definitely be when you get off stage and like people are like so excited to tell you like what their favorite part was, or like just like that the crowd interaction is my favorite thing. Like when I see what parts makes people light up. Like there's particular moments in each set that no matter what city we're in, I know people are going to get a reaction. Right after the Bridge of Poltergeist, because that's a very slow song, and we do a heavy breakdown that no one expects, and I do a lot of theatrical movements, and then I just freeze for a second with my hair in my face. I know that spot every time is going to make people go crazy. Everyone cheers and claps at that point. Like, I really just like seeing people's reactions and then meeting them after and chatting with them when people are like, oh, I love how you did this, or you remind me of this other band I love, or my friend told me about you, so we drove together tonight. Like, just getting to see the way that music brings people together and get to chat with them and interact with people is really what makes it so fun. Like, as much as I like love using like social media and like live streams and like connecting with people online, like getting to actually see these people in person, especially after you've been like friends with them on Facebook for years and they've been supporting you and following you. When you finally get to meet them at a show and you recognize them right away, like that's a really good feeling. And then my least favorite part about touring is I feel like I'm dying every time I'm on tour because I can't eat anything healthy. And it pisses me off so much. It's like you're on such a tight budget, you don't have a fridge or an oven, so you can't cook anything. At home, I'm such a health freak. Like everything I buy is like from my farmer's market. It's organic, it's local, it's natural, and I cook everything from scratch. And then I go on tour and I'm like forced to eat McDonald's because it's 2 a.m. and that's all that's open. The entire time I'm on tour, I'm like lethargic and groggy, and my stomach hurts and I have a headache like the entire tour. And it's just because I'm like, can we please get some vegetables? And then I see the price of the vegetables and I'm like, never mind. I don't want the salad from the gas station at $15.
Well, next time you guys are touring and pass by North Carolina, I mean, hit me up, send me a message. I'll cook you something so you don't have to.
I would love that.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Let me know.
When you're so used to homemade food, like restaurants are gross. I'm like, I don't want some old dried out burger. I'm like, I can make a way better burger myself.
And in the US, everything is so big. Like we're from Canada, right? So portions in Canada, like you get a drink, it's a drink. Like I got a big drink and I had to hold it with 2 hands. And I was like, why is this drink so big? Like everything is supersized over here.
Yeah, I'm like, this is bigger than my stomach is. Where am I supposed to put it?
What is the most American thing you've done?
Most American thing I've done? Define American. Like, I have an American flag print bikini. Does that count?
I mean, I guess so. No, like, I mean,
I haven't bought a gun yet. I would like to though. So whenever my husband's away for work and I'm home alone, I feel like if someone breaks in, I don't need a man.
I know it's a weird. I mean, there's so many ways to answer that, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, there's so many like different things that like are American. I mean, like I make like a mean fried chicken. Is that American? I love Southern comfort food.
Right.
So, what is your like weirdest combination food that you think people need to try?
Weirdest combination of food I like. I'm one of the people that likes pineapple on pizza. I know a lot of people will argue that, but I think it's delicious. But on the condition that the pizza needs to have a lot of meat on it, because I like it with the meat. I don't like it when it's just cheese and cheese and pineapple. That's really gross. But if there's like pepperoni and ham or like bacon and ham, then I think it's awesome. Other weird combinations. I'm not a very adventurous eater. I pretty much eat the same like 4 meals every single day. I basically just eat avocado toast and like salad and rice. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I put a ton of basil on my avocado toast. A few people have told me that's weird, but don't knock until you try it.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Hidden talents. I feel like all the talents I do have, I'm very public about because I like attention. I don't think I hide anything. I mean, like one of the like less obvious things that I'm really good at is like graphic design. I draw a lot and do digital drawing as well. So like I'll do all of the graphics for Living Dead Girl shirts. I make all of the lyric videos. I built and run our website. So I really like visual arts as much as I like music. It's just that's obviously not like my main thing. Everyone knows I'm a singer, but they might not realize that I do all the behind the scenes visual components of Living Dead Girl as well. Like we did shirts that had like a cartoon picture of me as a witch with like my cat sitting on the broomstick, and like I drew that picture by hand, then uploaded it to my iPad, colored it in, and then printed it on a shirt.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. I'm such a creative control freak. I don't like people to do things for me. So I just learned how to do things like that myself.
I feel that. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm the same way. I have people right now in the comments that are in my Nix's team for the podcast. And every time I have to give them something to do, I'm like, can I do it? Can I give them something to do? And they were like, we can help you. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. But
Yeah.
I'm there with work and stuff. I'm like, I'm fine. No, I need help.
Yeah. I like to do absolutely everything myself that I can. And then there's like some things I obviously can't. And then I will ask for help if I need to. But like I designed like our CDs, our vinyls, like our merchandise, like everything. Because I was like, I'm not hiring someone. Why would I spend money on it when I could just do it myself?
Exactly.
This question I always wanted to ask. With merch, do you know exactly how much merch you need to take with you?
So with tours,
is there a science?
Oh, sorry, you just cut out for a second. What was the last part?
I'm sorry, is there a science to it of, all right, we have 10 shows, we need to bring 1,000 with us?
I kind of wing it a little bit. I do have an inventory sheet from every single tour that I have like in a file folder, and I write how much of every single thing sold, so I can look at the reports back and be like, okay, this shirt design didn't do well. I'm not gonna order it a second time. Okay, this item didn't do well. This one sold out on the second show. So I kind of like feel out what items do well and which ones don't. But it's really hard to tell what the turnout for shows is going to be. I know if we're hitting a brand new city we've never played before on like a Monday night, the merch is not going to be as good as a place we've played 3 times before on a Friday night. So if we're doing like a little short run, like we'll bring like 100 t-shirts, 100 CDs, things like that. But if we're doing like a month-long tour, like, okay, we're going to need more than 100 shirts. If there's leftovers, we can always sell them online.
But do you normally know other places around if you need merch right away?
We do have a company that does like direct shipping, like they'll like drop ship it to wherever you are. So if we're ever in a pinch, I can order them and have it sent to a venue. The only issue is the one time they dropped the ball. So now I found another company because I was like, I don't trust you guys now. On our March tour, we ordered the shirts 3 weeks before the tour. We didn't get them on time, and they're in Florida, and I've gotten them like within 2 days before, but they just didn't ship them. So I did eventually get them for the next tour, and they refunded it, which is good, but it's just a little scary when you're like relying on someone to do it and then they don't do it.
Yeah.
So speaking touring? How excited are you for the next one?
I am extremely excited. I have heard nothing but amazing things about Raven Black, like both as a person and as a performer. I mean, I've talked to her on the phone a few times now, but I've never met her in person. And every interaction I've had with her, I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna be besties. I can tell. But we've had a lot of our fans telling us, like when they come up to us at shows, like, I saw your tour with Raven Black. I love Raven Black. We've seen people wearing Raven Black shirts and hats at our shows. So it's just really exciting for me because I'm like, if everyone loves them, like I'm excited to watch her set myself because I'm like, everyone loves it. It must be good. I'm a Raven reject. Yes, like she has such a cool aesthetic to her live performances and like how her fan club's called the Rejects and how she just has like such a cool branding to her that I just absolutely love. I think that's really important as an artist, especially nowadays that there's so many bands out there. You gotta do something that makes you memorable. So like I already knew who Raven was, already was familiar with her music before she even asked me to tour with her. I was like, oh, I know exactly who you are. Like I was so excited when she reached out to us.
It's pretty cool when it's somebody you're already listening to, even if it's somebody you don't know. I mean, you get to, find a new band, listen to some new music.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, it's always cool to get invited for a tour.
And I do love when like you see female fronted bands like inviting other female fronted bands out on tour. Like we literally are so much stronger when we're all together instead of making it a competition. So when you see other women who are supporting each other, like it just feels really good. Bill says he was able to take his mom to see her on May 6th, and it was her first metal show. That's a really good first metal show. That must have been really fun for you guys.
Did you guys talk about maybe doing something on stage together?
We haven't discussed it yet. Her and I have both been busy on tour. Like each of us, when we text each other, we'll be like, sorry, I'm busy on tour. But I did want to discuss that with her because I think that would be a lot of fun to do. It's already crossed my mind. When we did the tour in March with Marlene Mendoza, she joined me on stage for a live just for the last night. It was kind of like a last second decision. Like we didn't really plan it, but it went over so well. It was so much fun and the audience loved it. So it's definitely something I want to do with more artists.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best parts of going to a show. You never know who's going to pop in or out.
I saw Chris Motionless go on stage with Breaking Benjamin on a cruise I went on a few years ago. And like, I loved both those bands and it was just so cool to see that.
I was actually at, it was actually at that Rob Zombie concert that, what do you call it? Peter from Kiss came up and wished Johnny Five a happy birthday. But those are the moments at a concert when other performers pop up. I think it's really cool.
It kind of just gives the people at that show something like exclusive. Like it's not on the studio track that you can listen to on Spotify or iTunes. It's only here tonight. So it's kind of like a cool gift for all the fans who went to the show.
What's your feeling on live albums?
Live albums, I feel like they're a really good idea, but they have to be executed perfectly. Like I did one live recording once where you had to like connect the mixing board like to all separate channels and we recorded it and we had like the live footage as well. But then the issue with it was that since the audio was recorded separately from the video and then we dubbed it over, there were some parts that looked slightly out of sync and then the entire comment section was just people accusing me of lip syncing. I was like, if I was lip syncing, it would sound better than that because it would be the studio track. But I'm like, these are clearly live vocals, but they can be really good, but they just have to be done such a certain way or else I just feel like they can not go over well as well.
What's the best piece of advice another musician gave you?
We had Josh Balls, the former keyboardist of Motionless in White, come to one of our shows last year. And after the set, I was like, I would just love your honest feedback. I'm like, any criticism you can give me, like, lay it on me. I would love to hear it. And he was the one who was suggesting to us that we should have like more stage props and more things on stage to kind of add to the like branding and the aesthetic. He's like, just make things, make them homemade. They can be really cheap. They can be made of cardboard as long as it looks good from 10 feet back. And he was saying like, if you can increase the theatrics of your show, it just gives it a bit more of a memorable aspect to it. So the second he told me that, we went home, we bought styrofoam. Steve and I, my fiance, we cut out tombstones out of the styrofoam. From 10 feet back, you can't tell it's styrofoam and that they're flimsy and they fall over. They look really cool. And so many people have now commented on, they love our stage setup. They think it's so cool. It's such a cool aesthetic, such a cool vibe. And that was because he suggested it to me. I immediately went and did it. So that was really appreciated advice because he's someone whose music I've always loved and looked up to. So I respect his opinion, of course. And he was right. The second we did it, so many people commented on it.
But he is right. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and it doesn't have to be too big. Best example in this moment, you've seen their shows. There's nothing big. It's her. She doesn't have costumes that all cost her like thousands of dollars. She's very. Everything is focused on the voice, on the performance, and
yeah.
I mean, it's eye catching.
Yeah, visuals are very important, just as much as the music, quite honestly. Because if you're not giving anyone anything to look at, they could just stay home and listen to your albums then. Like, they want to see high energy, headbanging, jumping. They want to see that. That's why they're at a concert. But if you can add anything else to that to make it even more exciting, like along with the tombstones, I just bought some like fake vines and fake flowers from Hobby Lobby and just like laced them around the microphone stand. Then we had like bouquets of flowers. Because since we were doing the whole tombstones, let's say Living Dead Girl, we did some flowers. We were kind of trying to make it look like a cemetery. But I thought it was really cool because it was creepy and pretty at the same time, which is like the aesthetic of Living Dead Girl, creepy and pretty. So it's like feminine and fun, but it's also dark and creepy.
So what is your favorite holiday?
I love Christmas. I know everyone expected me to say Halloween because obviously, but I love Christmas because Christmas is more of like a full-length season. Second, it's November 1st. Like, I've shopped for everyone in my family. I've wrapped the presents. I love baking. Last year, I made my first ever turkey. I took on that little challenge. I was like, I'm just going to be a full-blown chef and make a whole huge feast. And I did it, and it was good. I just think Christmas has like a lot more like elements to it. Like, I love Halloween, but I kind of get over Halloween quickly. Like, I dress up, I put on makeup, I eat a bit of candy, and I'm like, okay, now what? Whereas with Christmas, there's like more to it.
So what's on your bucket list?
Bucket list is mostly travel oriented. I'm obsessed with traveling, and that's one of my favorite parts of being in a touring band is that I get to see so many places. But I really, really, really want to go to Japan, especially to Tokyo Disney, obviously. My number one thing on my bucket list is to go to all 7 of the Disney parks. I've been to California, Florida, and Paris, but I haven't been to Shanghai, Hong Kong, or Tokyo. So I really just want to like see the entire world. That's all I want to do with my life.
What is your anti-bucket list? Things you would never do again.
I would never do again. That's a good question. There's a few things I would never do again, but I don't feel like I ever have to do them again because they were things that happened when I was a teenager. Like, I did a school trip to France, and I would never do a big school trip like that again because it was horrible. And I did like a beauty pageant when I was a teenager, and that was horrible. I feel like all the things I did that I hated were like teenager things I don't have to worry about now as an adult.
If you got the opportunity to be in the Skater Boy movie that's been talked about, what part would you want?
I wouldn't care if they made me a background extra dressed as a tree. I would just be excited to be there.
So you want to just be a tree?
Yeah, I wouldn't even be picky. I would just be so happy to be a part of it.
So would you like to promote what's the dates of the tour?
Yes, so in August, we are going out with Raven Black. We are also playing some shows that are not with Raven Black. They're just Living Dead Girl as like our routing dates because the tour with Raven Black starts in Utah. We have to get from Florida to Utah. So along the way, there is a handful of dates that is just Living Dead Girl as well. We'll have an updated poster coming out soon. We're just waiting on a couple more show confirmations, but we are hitting like Houston, Oklahoma City. There's somewhere in Wyoming, I think. I think it's called Casper, Wyoming, if I'm correct. I'm trying to learn my American geography and remember a lot of tour dates. But we are hitting a ton of new places we have never been to before. We're pretty much on tour the entire month of August. If you want to see all of those dates, they are on livingdeadgirl.ca. And if you sign up for emails, we'll send you tour dates as they're announced because it is really easy to miss things with Facebook and Instagram because of all the crappy algorithms. But if you sign up for emails, then it gets sent straight to your inbox and you won't miss it.
Is there anything else you'd like to promote?
We do have a new EP out called Not That Innocent. It's a collection of early 2000s pop songs we rewrote into metal songs. It is a super fun, nostalgic EP. If you grew up listening to Britney Spears and Avril Lavigne, and I don't care how cool or how metal you are, we all did it, then you will definitely love this album. It's on Spotify, iTunes, I guess it's called Apple Music now, YouTube. It's everywhere you listen to music, and it's also on physical copies.
Available at your merch store?
Yes, sorry, on livingdeadgirl.ca, we have CDs of it. You can get them hand signed. It's really cool because especially since it's early 2000s music, it's just so fitting to get a physical CD of it since that adds to the nostalgia factor.
And then it's signed, so bonus.
Yes, we can do signed ones as well.
Do you have any messages you'd like to say to your fans?
Messages I would like to say to my fans. First of all, thank you because we've had so many incredible fans like coming to our shows. We've had people telling us I drove 7 hours for this. I booked off work. I got a hotel. We honestly have so much incredible supportive fans, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So first and foremost, thank you. It does not go unnoticed. We are very grateful and very appreciative. And if you haven't seen us yet, I hope I do see you later on the road. This year we're traveling a lot, and don't be shy. Come say hi to me. I love meeting people, very social, and would love to take selfies and say hi to you. So don't be shy. Don't be a stranger. Come hang out with us.
If you don't have anything else to add, I would like to thank you for your time. This is going to be on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Twitch is just Concert Rob, so let me finish. So, and part will be on TikTok later.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much for having me.
You have a great night.
You as well. Thank you.